And the last thing that I have, ladies, is when we put these principles in place, when we put our prayer in place, and we're trying to not lose hope, and we put this trust into place, and we're really trusting Him, then comes the peace. That peace that transcends all understanding. That peace that we desperately want to have. That peace that I think that that our friend has right now, that has lost her husband, that we can't really grasp right now. We don't really understand it. Well, I think that's the kind of peace that God gives you when you don't really get it, when you don't understand it, but He gives that to us. When we're putting these principles in place and we're living a life of that, then that tension and that stress and that doubt and that uncertainty can leave, because we've got peace. And God offers that to us. Peace is not something that God hangs over and says, no, not for you. No, it's something that He offers to us that we can have. We have to believe on it. And actually, if you look in the book of Philippians and you turn to chapter 4 with me, actually 4:6-7 says this. It says, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again. Rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near. Do not be anxious about anything. That's hard, ladies, isn't it? We are anxious. We get anxious about everything. We get anxious about tomorrow. We get anxious about our kids. We get anxious in our marriages. We get anxious about why is our husband not changing in this area? Our marriage would be, no offense. We get anxious. If our husband would just change, our marriage would be so much better. If he would just change. We don't want to look at ourselves, of course, and think there's so much that we could work on. But we're such a group of anxious people. But God promises, if we're anxious for nothing, if we just hand that over to Him, by prayer and petition and thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Now, I know that some of you ladies have gone through a time where that peace you've experienced. And we can experience it more often when we allow God in our hearts and in our lives. And really, it's mostly, ladies, it's us that get in the way of that. We step in the way of our own peace, because it's kind of like a ping pong game. We let Him in, and then we bounce Him out, and we let Him in, and we'll give it to you, Lord, and then we take it back. It's really up to us if we allow God to take that or not. We really have to be about the prayer time, and then about the trusting, and then about living out that peace. Because that's an option for us to have. We get to have that when we're living that out. Not 24/7. There are things in life that come, but at the end of that, there's peace. And we can have that. We can have that peace of mind. So ladies, as I worked on this message tonight, as I told you from the beginning, this for me was a week of lots of crazy and lots of stress, but at the end of being blessed with precious friends that were able to point me in the direction of God when I didn't see Him in the situation that we were working through. And my husband, who was able to remind me, no, remember this, this, and this, remember this time, remember when he was strong, remember when we didn't go here and it was such a blessing. We can get through this time. We can get through the times that we face. And so I hope that you are encouraged tonight and that you took notes. Don't give up hope. There's a God who so adores you and loves you and wants you to put your faith and your trust in Him. He so loved you, He sent His Son to die for you so that you could live forever with Him in eternity. So don't give up on Him. Don't give up your hope. Don't give up your dreams. you need to pray and you need to be trusting. And I pray that you're encouraged tonight to do so.